Tunes with me, Alex Woolfall. And today, guys, it's a little bit of a special show for you because I have myself a guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mike Yanek.
Yes. How you doing, mate? You know what the funny thing is? I love how Is that the first time you have a guest here?
The very first time, mate, yeah.
On a very special date.
Absolutely.
Because today is Brexit Day, and as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm a bit of a foreigner.
A little bit, mate. I was going to say, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, what
But
you do?
They don't already know me? Come on, mate. You don't follow me on Facebook? They should know who I am. Come on, mate. You haven't seen the billboard across the road? I'm a comedian. You know what the thing? I really hate when I say that I'm a comedian because people all of a sudden automatically have the expectation, oh, you better be fun. You know what I mean? Like if you go to a party and they ask you, what do you do? And if you say I'm a stand-up or something like that, and they're like, and? Okay, whereas, you know what I mean? They wait for the punchlines. So let's just say maybe, should I say that I'm a comedian? I can say that I'm Bulgarian.
Yeah?
I came to this country 10 years ago to steal all the jobs, steal all the hearts of the women, steal all the stand-up comedy opportunities in this country.
You've taken a few from me, man, so...
Yeah. I don't even apologize, mate. I'm just straight into it. Yeah, you better give me that gig. You know, I'm really, really funny. That's about it, mate. Stand-up. I have a podcast. I started a podcast recently, and I love just to do stuff like that. And I have a part-time job as well. I don't want to confuse people to think that I'm a full-time comedian because people will be really angry, especially British people. Like, come on, we let you into the country. Now you're going to steal the entertainment jobs as well. Come on, mate. Jesus Christ, you know. So but that's about it, mate.
That's good to know, man. So, yeah, Mike is a stand-up comedian. He is, as you can tell, I have described you on my show before. When I was advertising your appearance, I said you were like a whirlwind of entertainment.
Oh my! I don't even know what that word means. To be honest with you,
you're like a hurricane. Like,
oh my God,
guys, let me tell you something about. Like, I have done one gig with Mike in the past because if you're a new listener, I also do stand-up comedy as like a little like side hobby to this wonderful gig doing radio. But I have gigged with Mike in the past, and it was absolutely extraordinary, man. I have never seen anything like that. You put the microphone down. The one thing a stand-up needs, in my opinion, is a microphone. You just put it down, and you started yelling, and just like it was beautiful, man. But
and
like
he
you're
oh, I scared so many people in that pub, though.
Oh, you did, man. It was beautiful.
All these middle-class British people were like, oh, what are we seeing right now?
Listen, guys, if you're liking what you're hearing right now, Mike's going to be with me for the entirety of this episode.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Marathon today. We're not going anywhere. This is a hostage situation now.
He's taken me hostage. This is a cry for help. But, if you're liking what you're hearing, guys, he's going to be with me for the whole 2 hours. But fear not. We're still going to have some excellent alternative party bangers. So here's one for you now.
Yo, cut it.
That was The Big Moon there with It's Easy Then. I saw those guys at the weekend in Leeds when I went down to see Bombay Bicycle Club. And trust me, guys, big things from them in the future. And speaking of big things in the future... I am in the studio with the wonderfully talented Mike Yanek. How are you doing, man?
Oh, you're making me blush now over here, Alex. God.
Listen, we are going to have to go for a little break, but come back after the break. I'm going to be talking to Mike. He's absolutely hilarious. We are having a great time between these tracks. We're going to bring some of this hilarious chat to you very shortly. Isn't that right, Mike?
And we're going to bring that chat to you for free, though, isn't it?
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Free.
So stick around. There's going to be a lot of voices, impressions, and stories from back in the day in Eastern Europe, baby.
I couldn't have put it better myself, my friend. We'll see you soon. That was Billie Eilish there on Alternative Party Anthems on 107.9 FM. Here in the studio, I have the legendary Mike Yanek. How you doing, man?
Dude, you need to stop building me up so much. You know what I really hate when I'm doing a gig? I've said that to every MC I've ever gigged with. Because if they don't know you, they just announce you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next act, Mike Yanek. But if it's a mate, there is an MC, he's always like, oh, he's hilarious. He's short. He's Bulgarian. He has a crazy accent. I was like, mate, you're giving out half of my material, you know. Half of my jokes are about me being short, being foreign, that type of stuff. Don't give out whole. And I go on stage and I was like, yeah, okay, so the first 7 minutes of my act, I can just throw them away because he told you all the punchlines, you know what I mean? And all of my comedy is based on surprise. That's it. Like, my punchlines, you will never see them coming. You know what I mean? It's like, just imagine, because you know in boxing they say that the knockout punch is the one that you don't see.
Of course.
So it's like when you throw a jab and all of a sudden somebody smashes you with a chair behind your head. That's my comedy. See?
That's a great descriptor.
Yeah,
man.
and it really just infuriates me when somebody gives out half my stuff. So now you should be like, he's kind of okay. And he came here for free. We didn't pay him anything. We couldn't find a better comedian, so you have this guy.
Well,
that's it.
Fair enough, man. From now on, I will be much more directly honest.
Just like my parents. Yes, exactly. This is what I want. This is what I want. Honesty.
Beautiful. So, as well as being a stand-up, you also have a podcast.
Oh, we plug in the stuff already.
Yeah,
I
man.
love it, baby.
We're getting straight in there. You want to tell us a little bit about it, what it's about?
Oh, dude. So it's called the Mike Yanek Show.
Standard.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a boring name. Which does, you know what the funny thing is? Like, the way I dress doesn't, like, reflect my personality at all. And the name of my podcast doesn't reflect what's inside the podcast because it's complete mayhem.
Yeah,
like,
you have got like kind of like a subdued like supply teacher look going on right now, like the jumper and everything.
Supply teacher. I never heard that one before. That's funny, mate. Oh, that's so good. But it doesn't reflect, so the name doesn't reflect the insanity that is inside.
I can vouch for that, guys. I have listened to a couple of episodes of your show. You've got 3 out right now, is that right?
4 now.
4 now.
Every Wednesday. So
every
it's every
Wednesday, right.
But I've pre-recorded like 12 so far, so you know what I mean? I'm gonna stick with it.
Nice.
It's not like, yeah. And each episode gets even crazier and gets off the rails because the first 2-3 episodes I was kind of normal, but then I was like, you know what, forget it, just let's go, baby. And it's insanity. It's all voices and this and that, and I curse a lot, by the way. Like, here I'm a good boy, I promise.
Yeah,
to you, I'm not
please, because I went a little bit white then when you mentioned cursing. I was like, oh god,
here we go.
What's he gonna say?
Killing me, dude. No. Look, I'm professional, you know. I promise I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm not gonna curse, because if the people are listening now, I don't want them to think like, oh, he seems like such a nice boy and family friendly, and they go to my podcast and like 12 seconds in, and I'm, you know, like carpet bomb the place with F words and stuff, and they'll be like, okay, what is happening? No, we do not approve of this type of language. You know what I mean? Like, so, but it's you know. It's a bit insane. I curse a lot, but it's a fun show, you know.
Yeah,
Thank you for the plug. I'll give you the 5 after we finish.
That's a nice one. Thank you. Probably shouldn't have said that on air, but you know, we'll let's keep the deals under the table for now. So the podcast is basically, is it just like your thoughts and feelings, or is it just like...
I don't have any feelings. I'm Eastern European. We don't have that stuff. You know, back home is only hard work, you know. This is here. What is this? Western Europe, all here. We think about feelings and this and I go to therapist. No therapist. You work. You go and work. How old are you? You're 7 years old. Ivan, go and work in factory. What is this? Oh, but I don't feel very good today. No, you go and work. That's it. No feelings. Sorry about that.
That's okay, man.
So pretty much this is the podcast. This is my podcast. Well, this insanity.
You guys are getting a real good taste of what Mike puts out there.
The quality content that he puts out there.
Oh, wow. Listen, man.
I'm keeping you on edge now,
yeah, though, it's really touch and go here, but I'm having a wonderful time. I'm sure my listeners are as well, but I think I need to bring it back to the alternative party anthems. And you're listening to Alternative Party Anthems with me, Alex Woolfall, on 107.9 FM Mighty Radio. Catch us on the internet at www.mightyradio.co.uk. You can download that app from your app store, iTunes, or the other one, Android, whatever the hell it's called. And I am joined this evening by comedian, podcaster, and all-round hilarious dude, Mike Yanek. Mike.
okay, so there is a bit of improvement because the
Yeah.
previous one was like hilarious, outstanding, phenomenal, Oscar nominee, you know, that type of stuff. And now you're like podcaster, comedian. What is it? Hilarious dude.
Yeah, hilarious
Okay,
dude.
okay, we're getting there. We're getting. By the end of the show, you'll be like, it's just a guy in the room.
I will. I
Just
will.
talk.
I will not compliment you. The next link, I won't compliment you at all.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, I will be ripping into you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'll be like, this guy
This little guy.
coming onto my show, stealing my listeners.
Over here, think he's funny, eh?
Yeah.
It's better that way, mate, because like you need to prove. I don't like that because I rather to be an underdog. You know, when I walk into the room and I
Yeah.
need to prove myself. You know, I think it's more fun that way.
Fair play, man. Fair play. So, we haven't actually done any interview type things yet. I know we talked a little bit about your podcast, but let's get to the core of Mike Yanek.
Yes.
Let's get our pickaxe. Let's dig deep. So,
There's not much to dig, mate. I'm kind of small. I'm like 60 kilos, so it's gonna be a very quick dig. I'm small fella. Go on.
So basically, how long have you been doing stand-up for? And when did you start? And why did you want to do stand-up?
Okay, I need
3
to-
questions
I
in
need
one
to
for you there.
Write down all the questions. My memory is really short. Okay, so I started comedy. I feel kind of embarrassed now because I've been doing comedy only for like 6-7 months. And now we lost half of the audience because they were like, oh, I thought he was on telly. What is this? You know, like...
Oh man, I could not get a TV guest. Don't worry. The audience, the audience know like they know what they're in for.
I can only get a loser like you, innit? Yes, mate.
Not at all. I can get a winner like you, Mike.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God, you're making me blush now. This is getting very awkward now, honestly. Like,
Well, here's the thing. So I've never interviewed anyone before, and
I can tell that. Yeah, I can see that.
So I asked my friends, like, what advice would you give me? And a lot of them were just like, just pretend you're on a date. So that's kind of why I'm really buttering you up right now. I'm just making you feel all good.
Oh my God.
You're just gonna be another person in a long list that breaks my heart.
Oh
man.
my God. I thought that your friend said stuff like, just be yourself, Alex, which never works, to be honest with you. I've been on dates. Believe it or not, I've been on dates. And when you are yourself, if you're me, never be yourself because, like, it's fun for the first 10 minutes. Oh, you're a comedian. That's lovely. And after 15 minutes, like, okay, when do you turn this insanity off? And I was like, never, sister.
Exactly. You have
So
to
no,
be you have to be yourself, but a version of yourself that's acceptable to the outside world.
Show business version
Exactly.
of yourself when you do stuff like that in normal. Yeah, I'm actually quite normal in my regular day-to-day life. I'm a very chilled out guy, very like low energy as well. But when I'm in showbiz mode, quote unquote, you know, I need to
Yeah.
bring on the heat, baby.
So do you think that there's like a different persona to like say there's like stage Mike and there's off stage Mike? Are these two different guys, or is
Mate.
one just an amplified version of the other?
It's pro wrestling over here.
Oh yeah.
It's exactly pro wrestling. For those of you who don't know, so pro wrestlers, you know, there is this term called kayfabe, which means portraying a character on or off stage. You know, if you're the Undertaker or John Cena or whatever, you being that character. So when I'm here, it's kayfabe. I mean, obviously it's a version of me, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm still. It's like a pro wrestler. It's a combination of a few things, you know, because you have to be like. I think everybody in show business, everybody, comedians, actors, whatever it is, you have to be that, you know, because I'm kind of a boring guy in my day-to-day life, you know.
Yeah. I
So-
feel that, bro. I am so boring when I'm not on the show. I mean, I'm pretty boring when I am on the show.
Yeah,
so.
I can see that. I'm joking. See, we're on a date now. This is how I
Yeah.
banter with all my dates, you know. You know, just because, like, she's good looking or something, just because you're cute, I'm not going to be like, ha, ha, ha. No, I'm going to, you know, I need to see if you can take a joke, you
Well,
know.
listen, man. At least you think I'm cute. That's all I really
Yay.
wanted.
Yes.
Right, we're gonna play another song. We were talking during that Marilyn Manson track that you were a big fan
Yeah, I used to be a big fan when I was a
back
kid.
in the day.
Yeah.
What do we think of Rammstein?
Oh my God, mate,
Yeah?
I'm still a huge fan.
Oh well, you're gonna love this, mate.
Yes.
This is Du Hast by Rammstein. What is that coming over the hill? I hear you ask. Why, it's me, Alex Woolfall, and this is Alternative Party Anthems. And there's something following him over the hill, something much smaller than he, but much, much louder. Why? It's only bloomin' Mike Yanek. Hey, man.
Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here.
So, in case you're just tuning in now, I am joined this evening, and this evening only so far, by
Yeah.
Mike Yanek, comedian, podcast maker, writer. What else do you do, man?
Oh, God.
You do accents.
I thought that we're gonna lower it down, mate. What happened?
I'm trying, but like I said, I'm
Original, mate, innit?
I'm on a radio date with you to put you up.
Radio date. So how is the date going so far?
Ha-
It's going good. I think we're having a good time. But
You'd
I think
be surprised.
You need to pay,
You'd be surprised how often I do ask that during dates. Like, oh, are you
Really?
okay? Are you having fun? Is this fine?
Okay, so do you have a girlfriend right now?
No.
No. No, thank you. A girlfriend? Ew, no. Come on. Tell me about your worst date.
My worst date?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be interviewing you, mate.
No, mate, we're flipping the tables. We're doing 2 hours, mate. We have time as it is.
Oh, man.
My comedy career, quote unquote, is boring, okay? Some gigs, ha ha ha. Some gigs, no, ha ha ha. That's it, okay? Let's talk about life now. Tell me your worst date.
You want to hear my worst date
Yeah.
story? Oh, I don't think I can say it on the radio, man.
Oh.
Do you know what? Okay, guys. I will, after the news, I'm going to edit my worst first date story into like a radio-friendly version, and then I'm going to tell it. But I'm going to flip it and ask you about your worst date,
Oh,
man.
there's many, mate. Like, there are many. I don't have good dates.
Oh.
They're all worse. They're all bad.
Dude.
Yeah, they're all bad. I'm not even joking. I don't have good dates.
Come on. Come on. There must be...
Well-
All right, best date story
Best
from
date,
maybe a
yeah,
bad
yeah.
date.
We kissed down by the docks. It was so romantic. Oh, my God. Oh, the moonlight was shining. And I was whispering beautiful Shakira lyrics in her ear. And I mean, no, it's not fun if it's good, is it? Like, tragedy is fun. Like, success
Tragedy
is, not
is
fun.
comedy.
I don't want to see a guy who's doing well in life on stage. Like, yeah, I just bought a Bentley. Okay, bravo. You know what I mean? I want to see tragedy.
That's good, man. So, like, would you describe your stuff as tragic? Or, like, what do you
My
normally
comedy.
talk about when you're on stage?
On stage, so the thing about me is I do very little of self-deprecating humor at the
Yeah.
beginning, maybe, so they can know that I don't take myself too seriously.
Sure.
But then everything else is just like I feel like I feel like I'm put on this planet to observe other people's nonsense and shenanigans and just report on it.
Right.
And this is what I do. Like, for instance, my latest bit that I did, and I'm actually gonna do it this month, is a bit about cricket. It's about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just because I've never seen cricket before, you know. I've seen it on the telly, but I've never actually watched it. So I sit down one day and just actually started watching cricket, and I just wrote down my first impressions, and you know, I did it into a comedy bit. So my comedy is pretty much like that.
So like observational stuff.
Yeah, but
in a sense.
yeah, but it's a bit more obscure because like it's not relatable because
Yeah.
it's like the bottom line is something real and everything else is my imagination, stuff that don't actually happen. So you cannot really relate to that because it's from my imagination, and you cannot be like, oh, that happened. Yeah, the purple elephant, you know, crossed the road, and then a piano came on my head or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's not real. So, but it's pretty much like that. But I don't do controversial comedy, which is a lot of people are surprised because I'm very energetic and crazy, and I curse a lot on stage.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at my material, maybe it's a bit offensive and rude, but it's not edgy. There's like so many topics I would never even touch because I'm not interested in them.
That's cool, man. Because like
I'm not interested.
I find a lot of like when I go to do gigs these days as well. There's a lot of comedians out there that are just kind of being edgy for the sake of being edgy. Like they haven't really thought through. They're like, I'm not trying to diss anyone on the circuit
It's
right
freedom
now.
of speech. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I've just like I've noticed there's a lot of like being edgy for the sake of being edgy, and I'm no stranger to edgy material. I talk about some.
Oh, I've seen you gig, mate. We gig together. I've seen some stuff. I mean, whoa. Guy's intense, you know?
Oh, you know how it is, man. You know how it is. But yeah, listen, guys, we're gonna have to play a little song right now. I don't know why I'm saying that like it's bad. I mean, I absolutely love the next song that we're gonna play. This is Mighty Radio 107.9 FM. You're listening to Alternative Party Anthems with me, Alex Woolfall, and I also have a guest. Here he is. I'm gonna fade his mic up there, and it's Mike Yanek.
Yay, it's me, Mike Yanek. Welcome.
Hey, man. So, if you're just joining us for this hour, let me reintroduce Mike to you as quickly and concisely as I can. He's a comedian. He is a podcaster. He is foreign. He is.
Do you know where I'm from? Which country I'm from? Do you know?
You're a Bulgarian man, aren't you?
Do you know where Bulgaria is located?
Oh, dude, don't don't ask me anything about geography. I'm a radio presenter. I'm a musician and comedian. I did not get into these professions by being smart. So, but hey, Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about Bulgaria? Where is it?
Very nice country, you know. So if you have Europe, you know where Greece is. Yes, everybody knows Greece.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I say I'm from Bulgaria, everybody, I don't know where Bulgaria is. But when I say, do you know Greece? Oh, we love the feta cheese and the yogurt. We have feta cheese and yogurt as well, you know. Next to Greece, so north of Greece, Bulgaria, very beautiful place. Borat, you know Borat, he kind of ruined Eastern Europe for us because everybody, when they meet me, they say, oh, like, you know Borat. No, I don't know Borat, you know. He kind of ruined Borat. Very funny though. I actually know people who are like Borat. I'm not even joking. I was looking at Borat the other day, like kind of like him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's not a good time. So also this ties into absolutely nothing, but we were talking about like our worst first date stories before the break, and
Yeah.
I have actually managed to kind of edit down my one that I think a lot of people are texting in. I'm so sorry as well, guys. So we've been having so much fun here, me and Mike, that I've actually forgotten to do a lot of admin for the show, which I probably should do. So guys, you can now text in live to Mighty Radio 107.9 FM by texting Mighty plus whatever you want to say to 88440. Standard network rates will apply, so keep that in mind when you're texting us. But yeah, I can now get your texts straight from your phone onto this screen. So if you have a question for me, or more importantly, if you have a question for Mike, please do text in. That number again, 88440. Now, anyway, back to the story. So,
Listen, tell all the people, text only good stuff. I like compliments and only good stuff. No hate. Be sweet boys and sweet girls, okay? Only nice stuff.
yes, please. We are very,
Sensitive over here.
very sensitive, fragile little boys. We need,
Especially me.
we
Little
need,
boy.
we need only good compliments. If you do have anything negative to say, just throw your phone into the bin. And
But hold on, do you get money if they... Where does the money go, though? You take the money from the texts.
oh, this is a conversation for off air, Mike.
Oh! Give us your money.
I actually, honestly, I'm not sure
Okay.
where they go. So I'm gonna flip what you asked me about my worst date
Oh,
story
no.
because I don't want to tell it on the radio, Mike.
Okay.
Because it's too bad. So I'm gonna ask you: have you got any? Because you're a stand-up comedian, right?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, you are.
I'm not very good, though.
Oh,
I just
come on,
scream
man.
and being foreign, that's it. I don't have actual, jokes that I think about very, Well, you gonna ask me about my dates now?
No, I am not. I'm gonna.
Please don't.
I was gonna ask you: have you ever had like a really interesting heckler? Because I know, like,
Yeah.
we kind of are breaking into the scene at the same time, and a lot of places where we gig, heckling's kind of not allowed. But
Not really. The pubs, they usually don't, like most of the times in the pubs, they don't even do the admin work, like no talking,
Yeah.
They don't even do it sometimes. They just go straight in, and a lot of the times people heckle, especially if there's like not a room where the gig is going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's like people all around. So if people just drinking at the bar, they don't care about the gig, so they just yell stuff. Happens a lot, yeah. I've had some hecklers, yeah. I had one guy, oh my god, this was a really bad gig that I did.
Yeah.
But in all fairness though, I had the flu for like 3 weeks. It was in October, I think, 2019. I was so sick, mate, honestly, and I was on so much medication. I was really, really, really bad.
yeah.
And low energy. I should have canceled the gig, but it's a friend, so I went. And this guy, he just came out of a sudden in the middle of the gig. It was going very well, and I had my green jumper and stuff, and it was around Christmas. I think around Christmas time or something.
Yeah, huh?
And he said, I don't know what he said. I was making a joke that I'm small and stuff, and he said, "Oh, he looks like a elf or something like that."
Yeah.
But with such a good timing, because I'm recording the gigs, and when I was listening to the gigs, he was like, "Ha! He looks like an elf," and everybody died laughing. But I didn't hear him, and I was asking one of my comedy mates, what did he say? He said, "You look like an elf." Usually at that point, I would just say, stuff like, "I'll tell Santa that you say hi" or something, and maybe like do a little jump, and that's it. But I was like so out of it, and we just got into it. It didn't go well at all, and but he got the best of me, and I was really, really, really not healthy. And it's funny thing, comedy, even if you're not at 100%, it makes such a huge difference at your performance.
Oh, absolutely. I remember one time I did a gig. I can't remember where it was, but I was really hungover.
Ooh.
And I'd never really done a gig hungover before. I've done gigs like a little bit tipsy. I've not been anything more than that, but like it was kind of unavoidable that I'd be hungover at this gig, and I remember just dying on my bum, and like this material as well that I used was tried and tested and everything, and it just absolutely bombed. It was awful, and I've just realized we've spoke for a really long time, so we're gonna have to go to some music, Mike. I hope that's okay with you. This is Alternative Party Anthems with me, Alex Woolfall, and I am joined by comedian, podcaster, that's it, Mike Yanek.
Just a guy in a sweater.
just a dude in a sweater. He's snuck in the studio, and I'm interviewing him now.
Yeah, off the street, yeah.
We're that desperate for content at Mighty that we just do that.
Just a random guy, just a random foreigner. Come over here, make us laugh.
You sound interesting. Why don't you hop on the old mic there and see what happens?
Oh, are those clothes from Primark? Yes, come on. You look like a guy who knows what's happening. Come over.
So, during the song there, we were kind of talking about like how you feel before you go on stage, and like I really enjoyed the way you described it. So, if you could describe that for the listeners,
for the audience, for the people who are listening, can you please describe?
Yeah, man.
No, the thing I was just telling you, in the break, like before, so let me just tell the people behind the scenes so they can peek behind the curtain. So there's like a little room here where they have a kitchen, very, very lovely place. And I was having my sandwich because I always carry food with me. And I don't know, like I think this is the Eastern European in me, because I have this idea that there's gonna be no food, you know what I mean? Like yeah, maybe in the shops or at home, and I'm always worried that there's gonna be shortage or something, and I'm small and I'm gonna disappear if I don't eat in a few hours. So I always carry bananas, always carry a bit of like peanuts and stuff, and I carry sandwich. So I was having my sandwich, and I was just telling you that before we started this, I had that little buzz that I have right before I go on stage, and I really, really enjoy that. And for me, it's like I'm never scared. I've never been scared to go on stage, and I love attention. And even when you go into the bus, if you don't drive, people when you go into the bus sometimes, and it's a full bus, and you get your ticket and you turn around, and everybody's looking at you. I know people who are like really just nervous, maybe they'll look down and just go up. They don't like when people look at them. I love it. And I look back, I just start staring at people until they get uncomfortable and start looking away. So for me, I love attention, so it's never been an issue. But before I go on stage, I always have that, that little buzz, like what's gonna happen? Is it gonna go well? Is it gonna go bad? Will somebody trying to punch me in the face after the gig? Well, mate, you've seen me on stage.
I have.
Yeah, so you never know, and it's really, really interesting. And I've never had that, like, oh, I want to leave, I'm so scared. I've seen people, mate, who like freeze on stage, or I've seen people who one guy, back in the day when I started, he just left. He was so scared, he left the venue.
Really?
10 minutes before he went on stage. They called his name, he left. He was like, I'm going to the toilet. He left. And I was like, wow, And then I saw him after a few gigs and stuff, and I gave him a hug, and I was like, are you okay? He was like, yeah, mate, I was so nervous. And, I tried to calm him down, but everybody deals with pressure in a different way.
Yeah.
For me, I love it. For me, it's like, bring it on, baby, let's do this. So, I don't know. How do you feel? Do you get that buzz before you start? Or you've been doing this for a while now, isn't it?
Oh man, I've been doing it for like I think time is scary, man. I think I've been doing this just over a year, like the radio and the stand up, and obviously I'm kind of jealous of how like just you seem to have this incredible confidence about you, and it's so I'm so envious of that, because like if I don't get at least a little titter out of the audience in like the first 30 seconds, I'm like in my head I'm like, oh, this is gonna go badly. I normally wrangle it midway through, but like I like it's I don't even know what to say, man. You're blowing my mind right now.
You're such a sweet talker, by the way. Like, oh my God, you make me blush now. But you know what I mean? I usually address it if sometimes they're like, this is funny. No, you know what? My best part is, sometimes people don't know where to laugh. Yeah. If they laugh at the premise, somebody laughs at the premise, and I was like, no, you keep quiet. This is a premise. You should not be laughing right now. And I kind of chastised them for that, and people start laughing and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm only joking. I love you. But I don't know, mate. It's just fun. And like I told you, I got into this whole entertainment industry, quote unquote, very late. I'm 30, and like I told you, my confidence, self-worth, and all that stuff, it's already built in.
Yeah.
So I'm just coming into this thing with the idea I want to have fun. I want to learn how to do this, not with the idea like, please love me or all that stuff. I don't care, mate. It's just fun. Like, I don't know.
Would you say that's probably like the best attitude to have? So say someone is listening now and they're thinking about starting stand-up, and for whatever reason, they've decided to tune into my show, and they're hearing what you're saying. So would you say maybe you just got to not give an S? You just got to go out there and do it regardless of how it goes?
So, Mr. Mike Yanek, you are a very experienced comedian with 6 months experience. You've done over 51 gigs right about now. Can you give some advice to all the millions upon millions of stand-up comedians, wannabes who are listening?
Exactly.
And no, honestly, no, mate, I'm not in any position to give any advice, to be honest with you. I genuinely don't. Other people ask me when I go to their podcast, what advice do you have? And I was like, mate, I don't, like, I can give you from like my personal view or philosophical view, but I cannot give, like, who am I? I'm a nobody, mate. I'm just a tiny, lovable, charming Eastern European guy in a sweater. That's who I am,
So modest as well. God damn.
Oh, very modest. You should see my stand-up. It's really modest. No, if I have to give any advice, it's just, mate, just know what you're doing this for. You know what I mean? Because if you go into this with the intention of, I want something from you, I want love, or I want to impress a girl on the 4th row, or I want to make all these money, or I want to make my ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, jealous. You know what I mean? If you go with that idea into it, I mean, I'm not saying you're not gonna make it, quote unquote. You're not gonna have a fun time, is it? If you're like spiteful, and if you're like, oh, I'm gonna write this bit that makes me look good, makes me look really, really maybe strong or intelligent. So, you see those 3 girls over there, they really like me. That's usually not funny. Like we said, misery is funny. Me having a bad day, that's funny. So I think if you wanna go into this, mate, like if you wanna make a career or if it's just a hobby, have fun with it, mate. And it's like, go with the idea, I want to give you as much as possible on my expense. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen my stand-up. I'm a buffoon on stage. I don't care if you laugh with me or at me. I just want you to laugh and to have a good time. So if you go into the whole entertainment industry with that attitude, you'll be good. And just be nice to people. Just be yourself. Be friendly. And don't be like, oh, I'm going to be nice to you because I know you have a radio show, so maybe you're going to give me a spot. No, I'll be nice to you. You see, when I met you at the gig, we had such a great time and we talked for a bit. I don't care if you have a radio show. I don't care if you're a booker. I don't care if you're famous. If I like you, I like you. That's it. Just have fun. Be decent. And that's it. This is getting too serious now. I need to put a punchline somewhere.
You heard it here first, folks. You just got to be nice.
Just be nice. Be friendly.
Just be nice. That's if you're going to take anything away from the past 2 hours of nonsense of me and Mike chatting here,
and music,
just be nice.
Be a sweet boy. Be a sweet girl. That's it. Hashtag sweet boy. That's it.
Hashtag sweet boy. Text in, guys. Are you a sweet boy? Are you a sweet girl? We want to hear from you. That number again, 884440. Now, we should probably play some music, but we were going to talk about music as well. So why don't we'll play a few tracks.
Nice songs. It's too aggressive. Previous stuff too aggressive, please. Something nice, something nice, positive. Madonna or something,
nice, positive.
Sure.
Well, unfortunately, mate, I'm going to have to
Rammstein.
completely ignore you, and we're going to play All My Life by Foo Fighters. Is that okay with you?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care if it is or it isn't, so it's happening. And we are back live in the studio. I have Mike Yanek, everyone. Comedian, podcaster, dresses like a supply teacher, all around pretty decent company so far, mate. So, we have had a text through.
Yes.
This comes from an anonymous texter. So, guys, if you are texting in, it is it's not ideal if you don't put your name on it, because then we can't really address you as an individual. But whoever you are, thanks for getting in touch. And they say this. So, what would be your ideal audience for performing stand-up in front of, and why? This question's been posed to both of us, but I'm going to kind of take a back seat here and pose it to you, good sir. So what would your kind of ideal audience be like?
For me, it's just an audience who can just play along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes if I'm there, I had some gigs that it went well and not well. Like, sometimes I'm there and I'm just gonna do material. You know what I mean? I have a lot of stuff to work out. It's like a lecture.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, sit down. I have, because, you know, I need to try these stuff, and I have like maybe 10 or 15 its own new material, and I need to, you know, I'll record the gig, I'll do the punchlines, I'll go, you know what I mean? It's very technical. I'm here, sit down, please.
Yeah.
Other times, because of the venue, because they don't want to listen, you know, they just want to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Material goes out there, and we're just gonna talk. Hi, you did, you know what I mean? I'll bring somebody on stage. This. It really depends on the type of gig. If I'm really working on new material, which you have to, you cannot be always just winging it and, you know, or just stick with the same stuff. You need to progress that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna answer like this. I cannot say one audience. I'll say the different types. If it's a new material, I'm really, I don't interact with nobody. It's like I even blur out the audience. I don't even address them like they're not there. I'm just
Really?
out there to I need to deliver this monologue, because I need to know what works and what doesn't. Like, for instance, I spent January just writing like insanely, because, you know, I have a part-time job in the morning, but I had holidays, and if you don't take them, you lose them. So I take like 20-something days, and it was super cold and all that stuff, and I didn't have much gigs, so I wrote like insane, and I have a bunch of new material that I need to work in the next few months.
Excellent.
Yeah, if it's an audience where it's, let's just play, let's just have fun, I have nothing, I have the material sorted, I'm just here to have a bit of fun. I just want audience, because I push it pretty far, I want audience that will not turn on me or get violent towards me.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, because it's not, you know, I don't do controversial material,
Yeah.
but it's a bit like, I'm gonna roast you a little bit. I'm gonna roast me, but I'm gonna roast you as well. And I want after I finish a gig, I'll come over you and I'll hug you, and I ask you, did you enjoy the show? Because I want to show them that this is just a character. I'm not a mean person. So it's a audience that I really hope that they're like, let's play along and let's have fun and all that type of stuff. And if it's like an audience, if you do a stand-up comedy club or something like a big venue and it's very important, just an audience to just enjoy themselves and just be relatively quiet, not to heckle too much, because like I don't mind heckling, I improvise a lot, but, you know, when I do a club, I was like, I have some really good material that I need to do, so please give me the time. And I never say please, I say, hey, you know, quiet. You know, I'm not like...
I think in less radio-friendly terms as well,
No, I mean, you know what I mean? So this is just how it is. Every audience is different. For me, it depends what type of gig I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you ever find that, like, if you're doing a gig in front of an audience who has, let's say, enjoyed a drink, that, like, does that affect your show, or...
It depends how many drinks.
Yeah.
There is a really good point where it's like in the middle.
Yeah.
If they're completely sober, and if it's a small venue, and if it's I call it a venue that you can see. That means, you know, a pub which is like everybody can see everybody.
Yeah.
That's a venue. I call it that you can see everybody. But if it's a club, you see only 4 people on the first row and everything is dark, you know. But if they can see each other, and if it's like 7 people and everybody's sober and you're the first act, they feel kind of awkward to laugh, especially if you say something a bit more like raunchy or a bit like, ooh, you know, and they're like, ooh, everybody can see me. But if they have a few drinks, then it's okay. But for me, middle is okay, because if they get too drunk, then they start laughing at I'm not joking. I had gigs where 3 women were so drunk, not only premises, you know, when you do like non-stop laughing.
Yeah.
And it kind of ruins the vibes, because it's like, obviously they're so drunk and maybe they're laughing about something else. That kind of ruins the show, you know.
Sure,
so,
and you need to get the jokes out sometimes as well. Like it's all well and good when people are laughing and having a good time, but I always think like, you know, you guys are here to see me, regardless of whether you paid or not. That's another good point as well. I always find that like a paying audience is always a lot more receptive to like what you want to do. So I've done a lot of gigs where like the audience has just like they've just walked in off the street. They're like, oh, it's a comedy night. Oh, let's see what it is. And they don't really give you the time of day. But if there's a show, it's been promoted, it's ticketed as well. The audience are like, we want to see you do comedy. We want to see you do well. Go out there and make us laugh. You have our full attention. So I think that also plays a huge part in it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I think if they have a ticket, there are certain expectations as well.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm paying a price for something, you need to bring your A game. There's, like, I'm talking from an audience member, perspective now. Like, I don't want to hear your new stuff. I don't want to see notepads. I don't want to see you work stuff on stage.
Yeah.
You better bring the heat if I'm paying 10 quid to be here. And if you don't bring the heat, I'll be really, really disappointed. And if 5 comedians don't bring the heat, I'll be like, I'm never gonna come here again. But if it's a new night and it's free show, they're working out material, fair enough. And look, I'm saying all these stuff from my perspective. I don't like that whole, you should do this, because I'm a nobody in the industry. I'm 6 months into this. I'm a nobody. But I'm telling you from a guy, because I've been a lifelong comedy fan. I saw my first stand-up comedy special when I was 9 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you as an audience member and from my perspective how I see things,
That's good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Hope that has answered your question, anonymous texter. Right, guys, we have about 15-ish minutes left. We're gonna jam some tunes down your throats before we go. We're gonna have a little bit of a tiny little chat just before we leave. But stay tuned, guys, because coming up next we've got some amazing music from the Smashing Pumpkins and some even more amazing chat from Mr. Mike Yanek.
Alternative Party Anthems with Alex Woolfall.
You join us here in the final couple of minutes of Alternative Party Anthems with me, Alex Woolfall, and my special guest co-host for the evening, Mike Yanek. Mike, have you had a good time, mate?
Oh, there is no podcaster, comedian, sensation, Oscar nominee, that type of stuff.
No, just
straight to the
time.
point. Yes,
yeah.
Straight to the point. I'm having a great time, mate. I'm really enjoying myself.
Oh, well, that's very, very good to hear. So, 5 minutes left. I want you to now tell the listeners at home where we can see you live and how we can hear more from you.
The moment I was waiting for, isn't it? Plug all my stuff for free. Okay, first of all, social media, Mike Yanek. So my surname is spelled Yanek. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that type of stuff. If you want to see my dates, there's only one place where you can actually do that, and that is my Facebook page,
right?
Which is Mike Yanek Show. Or if you just type in Mike Yanek, it's gonna come out my profile. You can add me. I can be your friend. I don't mind. Okay, we can be friends. Or you can just follow my Facebook page, and I post. You know how they have the Facebook events and stuff. So
yeah.
I post the actual dates and postcodes. The podcast is called the Mike Yanek Show. It's a boring name, but it's a very, very fun podcast. And a few dates. So on the, the thing is on my calendar, because I don't write the actual address. I just write the name of the booker or something. But I have a few here.
Fair enough.
On the second.
What city are these in?
Yeah, just
narrow it down a little bit.
So the 2nd of February, I'm in Birkenhead.
Beautiful.
I don't know where. Just find me in a pub somewhere. It's a pub. It's something Chambers. I think the last name was it Holly's Chambers, Molly's Chambers, something like that.
Fair enough.
Find it. You follow my Facebook page. Everything's there. See, haha. On the 3rd, I'm on in Boothall and the Marathon Inn. It's like a big pub
in Boothall.
Yeah. Then I'm in Liverpool.
Beautiful.
Early Risers. I don't know where the address is. I'm really bad at this. Like, you should have told me, mate, just to write down the addresses.
This is going well so far.
This is going perfect. 16th of February, Hot Water Comedy Club.
Beautiful.
I think everybody should know where that is. Then we have the Comedy Balloon in Manchester. That is on the 19th of February. Then we have Charlton Comedy Club, which is located in Manchester in a cricket club. It's called Charlton Cricket Club.
Right.
On the 21st of February. And I am not going to do my cricket bit in that club because they'll probably kick me. I make a lot.
I kind of mock cricket in a very. If you're like a really passionate fan about cricket, can you imagine if you're like a really passionate fan about football and somebody makes so much fun and makes football look so ridiculous for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I'll never do that because people will kill me in this country. But cricket, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid of cricket fans. Let's just put it that way. Then we have 26th of February, Diamond Comedy Club, which is in Manchester. And we have 27th of February, the Handyman Pub, which is in Smithdown Road in Liverpool.
Amazing. So, and any more updates, they'll be on your Facebook page, they'll be on your Twitter, they'll be on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mike Yanek.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you, mate. I hope to have you again someday. This is how I end my dates as well, you know.
Hope to see you again one day in 7 months.
Exactly. And I never do. But listen, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed the show today. I've enjoyed myself. I've learnt a lot. Coming up next, the fantastic Phil King with his Simply 80s show. I'm going to leave you in the incredible, capable hands of my friend and yours, the wonderful Biffy Clyra with Saturday Superhouse. Tune in next week for more nonsense. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure as hell going to be here. And I will see you then.